My coverage of Computex 2018 is brought to you by Gigabyte, Cooler Master, Team Group, and Thermaltake. Guys, I'm over at Alphacool. They make water cooling parts for custom cooling loops, and normally I'd be like, I'm going to come here and show you some new products that they have, but if you remember my Threadripper build, Project Riptide, and the Corsair 1000D, massive $10,000 system, I promised you guys I'd be water cooling that. Alphacool is going to be supplying the parts, so I'm here to go shopping. So let's start with Reservoirs. Alphacool has a wide selection of these, and they're all copper. I should mention everything that's metal that Alphacool makes is copper, and these are actually a single piece of copper. So when you hold the reservoirs, like the base of them, they're incredibly heavy, which I'm happy about because that means they're quality, which I'm also kind of afraid of because the system's already insanely heavy and it's going to get heavier. That's okay. I'll invest in a dolly. Everything will be fine. Now, since I have the water theme, the slight blue accent theme, I think what we're going to do here is go with the Helix. Helix is badass. We're probably going to go with maybe the black cap and then still do like the blue interior for like the fluid to go through. I think that would look really cool. And I'm going to have two of these side by side because I'm going to do two separate loops. Alphacool has a wide variety of pumps and pump reservoir combos. Well, I've already decided the reservoir. For the pump, I'm going to go with the D5 variants. Tried the DDC. It makes a little bit more noise and I want this to be as quiet as possible. So go with a couple D5s. Probably going to go with the standard mount here, and I might actually separate the pump from the reservoir, but that still remains to be seen. I was able to take a look at this combo unit right here. It's got a reservoir on top and a pump on the bottom. The top is actually made of nylon, and apparently it's indestructible. And even though this is a crazy $10,000 over-the-top build, I'm trying to make it functional. So I've decided I'm going to go with soft tubing. That's right, soft tubing. And I kind of like what they have here. It's sort of semi-opaque. So even though I'm probably going to also use just standard water for the fluid and not dye it at all, because I don't want to have to worry about blocks getting messed up with dye or anything like that, it still has a sort of a refractive property. So I think it'll look good. Since I got lots of RGB LEDs in the case, I think it'll pick up on the tubing and look pretty nice. As for fittings, they also have a wide variety of different color options, different anodized metals. It's all copper, of course, still. I think I'm going to stick with black. I want to keep things simple, a fairly industrial look, and a really cool thing that they had is quick disconnects. I'm going to have quick disconnects on all of the vital parts so that if I need to remove the CPU water block to maybe upgrade to Threadripper 2 in a couple months, I can do that without too much insane level of difficulty. The quick disconnects they have are made of copper as well, also heavy, also very durable, and they're even like spring-loaded. When you release them, they kind of pop off, which is kind of exciting. Just make sure you don't drop them. You know, if you get an Optane SSD, Alphacool now makes water blocks for that. Yeah, water cool your SSD. I don't know what kind of performance increase you get with an Optane SSD and water cooling it, but this is, again, really solidly designed block, very pretty. So if you want to show off your SSD 900p, then go ahead and get one of those. I don't have one of those, though. What I actually need, though, is a solution for the M.2, because I'm going to add a second M.2 via PCI Express slot. That's because I'm using the 2400G Ryzen APU, which doesn't have quite as many PCI Express lanes. Long story short, I'm going to need a riser card, and Alphacool actually has these passively cooled riser cards. It's got a front plate and a back plate and an M.2 slot, and it's going to be positioned in a pretty nice spot in the case, so I'll be able to get a look at this, and it will also leave it open so I can still get a look at the Mini ITX build that's at the bottom of the case, so I think that's going to work out just great. I'm going to allow myself to quickly be distracted by this beautiful build that Mike from Alphacool did. Oh my god. This company is EC Customs, so go to eccustoms.be to see more epic builds like this. Lots of attention to detail. I like the cabling work. He 3D prints his cable combs. It's so hot right now. I am now further distracted by this very industrial, serious-looking Alphacool radiator. It is copper, but they've nickel-plated everything, even all the fins in between. So the nickel plating actually goes down in there. If you look at it from the side, you can't really see any copper. They also put stainless steel on the side, so you can polish that up and make it look shiny if you want to. This is a 280 millimeter radiator, and it just looks very serious, but I'm getting distracted again. I digress, as Jay might say. Here's a new product in the Ice Bear line. It's the Ice Bear Extreme, and they're actually using a full-on, like just the straight Alphacool XTX block on there. It's also got quick disconnects. I like what they've done here with the tubing. The entire thing is black. It's super serious, get the job done type build, and they're not conflicting with any Ace-Tech patents because the pump and reservoir is up there built into the radiator. It's a 280 millimeter radiator, but bear in mind you will probably not have standard compatibility with 280 millimeter cases because there is a bit of an extension on the end there. But if you're looking for a hefty water cooler, it's expandable to maybe add a GPU block via the quick disconnects, this is the Ice Bear Extreme, and we're expecting it later this year. No exact dates and unfortunately no price estimation right now, but it looks pretty beastly. Alphacool has been working on some new blocks, some that use some acrylics so you can see through to pretty lights or see if you have colored fluid. I think they're doing a nice job on these, but since I have Asus Strix GTX 1080 Ti's, I need to stick with what's compatible. So this is actually the block from one of their Ice Wolf all-in-one liquid coolers, which has the pump integrated to it right there, but it's pretty much the same look. This is what I'm going for. Big fins, there's actually a bunch of surface area on there for heat dissipation. It is functional and it's pretty, and it will match and fit with my graphics cards, at least the 1080 Ti version. Here's some Alphacool block covers for their XTX block. Now, the block isn't specifically made for Threadripper, and I do have a Threadripper CPU, but it does have brackets for it, and their blocks are naturally large. They have a lot of surface area on there, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with an Alphacool block for now. I'm hoping possibly in the future that, again, Threadripper 2 might be an option for an upgrade on this build. And Alphacool is working on a Threadripper dedicated block, so this will be okay for now, and then in the future I might upgrade to an actual Threadripper block, and maybe also in like a 24 or 32 core Threadripper 2. That'd be nice. Another brief moment of distraction. Alphacool is making some RGB LED fans, 120 millimeters. I've got one with some more diffusion around it out there, or these that you can see the LEDs a little bit more clearly on. I'm going to be doing flexible tubing with my build, but I thought I'd at least show you Alphacool's crazy over-the-top ice coffer tube bending kit. If you're using PETG or acrylic tubing, this is what you need if you want to get into it professionally. So there's a massive steel plate at the bottom with a bunch of connection points where you can connect these, and you can use those to position wherever you want, and different bending angles. It also comes with this. So if you happen to get in some sort of injury, you need to hack off a limb, you know, to prevent gangrene or the spread of that, that's what this is for. Right? Yeah, more or less. Okay. And the last thing I'll need to complete the loop is radiators. So Alphacool has a wide selection of those, again, all copper. And I'm going to be using two 480 millimeter radiators up at the front as well as up at the top. But they actually have the largest radiator here that I've ever seen. It is a 4 by 140 millimeters, so that's 560 millimeter, and it's 80 millimeters thick. It's actually, it seems like it's bigger than this awesome build right here that Mob My Mods did. This little mini ITX build, which is absolutely gorgeous with elephants on it. I'm having so much fun here. Okay, so I guess this is probably a good place to leave you. Look at that Mod My Mods build. Good job, Mod My Mods. It's so compact, it's so tiny. They did such a good job on the cabling. But guys, that's all the time I have for this video, so hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it. And of course, a big thank you to my sponsors for Computex 2018, Gigabyte, Thermaltake, Cooler Master, and Team Group. I have more Computex videos coming at you very soon, so definitely subscribe as well if you're not already. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.